Hi everybody, this is Relay32 with a Let's Play stroke tutorial of A Valley Without Wind by Arcen Games. Now, I've been involved with A Valley Without Wind since it came into public beta, and since then it's gone through a massive number of changes. Now, I did do a Let's Play quite early on. I think it's a little out of date. So I decided I was going to do another one, and I've also noticed on the forums quite a few people, just going to turn the music down a touch, saying that they would like a bit more direction and a bit of an idea as to what to do in the game. So that's my aim, is to try and give some people some information. So I'm going to start a brand new world, so I click on play, create world. Okay, so I'm going to call this world Let's Play. I don't think I can have that. Let's use capitals. Let's Play. Today's date is the 30th of March. 30/3. See if it'll let me do that. Now, one of the big changes, or one of the first changes I can come across, is the choice of combat difficulty. There's a vast array. Now, it defaults to Adept, which, if I'm honest, I think is a little easy. So skilled is the one I tend to play on, but I'm going to stick to default purely because I'm doing a Let's Play at the same time and I don't want to give myself too difficult a job. We've also got a platforming difficulty, which just dictates how many platforms are in the game and whether or not you're going to need to use wooden platforms to get to various places, etc. I'm going to go ahead and leave that on default, which is I can jump, thank you. So we'll go with that. And for experienced players, you can also start with Advanced, which just skips the intro mission, or Expert, which actually starts you on the second continent. Now, I'll cover continents when we reach that stage of the game, but again I'm going to stick with the normal start. I'm going to go through the tutorial. Okay, now what will happen when I click OK? It will generate a brand new world for us and start us off in the tutorial. Let's go for it. In fact, first of all, so I'll need to pick a character. Turn to it, I'll need to make sure that I can create a world. Let's call it 30th March, just so I can keep an eye out on when it started. Okay, that's better. Okay, so what happens now? It gives us a choice of 6 characters. Now, at the beginning of the game, you start off in the Ice Age. So all these characters are all Ice Age characters. And in the background, you can actually see the world map as well, which is quite cool. It gives you an idea of what to expect. Now, so look. Again, as I said, if you've watched my previous Let's Play, what we've got is attributes. Now, health is obviously a key one. Now, anything that's green is good. Anything that's slightly paler green is not quite as good. White tends to be fairly standard. And the yellow is actually the cold tolerance, which all Ice Age characters are cold tolerant. So let's have a look. Who have we got? Well, let's go for somebody who's not got any red. So we've got Mauricio Santabin, who is slightly low on attack, but a bit more on mana. We've got Farida Dublin and Kai Kudden. So I think we've got 3 to choose from here. All got the same health. And Farida and Kai are about that. In fact, they're exactly the same. So I'm going to go for, now mana's a key thing in this game, but again so is the attack. I'm going to go for Kai just because I like the name. There we are. Okay, so the first intro chunk in the game, or intro area, is actually handcrafted. And one thing you'll notice when we enter the first part of the game, we've got like an electrical effect around our bodies. Now what that is basically we're now immune. If you look at the bottom, it says invincible, so any monsters that were on screen couldn't hurt us. And this is the same throughout any area. When you access an area from to a door, entering a new area, you always start off in this state just so you can be aware of what's around you and make a tactical decision. We've got 141 health. Okay, 300 mana. Now mana is used for casting spells. We have no spells because there's nothing in the bar at the bottom. And we've got a planning tab. Now I don't want to get overcomplicated, so let's leave those for now. As soon as I move using the WASD keys, you'll see that the electrical effect disappears. Got a little flash of like a ball of light that follows us around, and we can use the spacebar to jump and do little somersaults. The object was stood in front of here just allows us to change difficulty if we felt that what we picked in the intro menu wasn't quite correct. Okay, next thing we look at is the map at the top. Now we can make the map bigger by pressing M or make it disappear. So let's make it a little bit bigger so we can see what's going on. The little blue blob is us, and the orange blobs are resources, things we can pick up, and the yellowish blob with a little flashing green and pink circle is a gate. So that gives you an idea where we are. So another map that size. We've also got a chunk map at the bottom, which shows us how many chunks and are in this current map, or dungeon map it's called, whether it's been scouted and how much has been visited. So we've only visited half of this particular chunk. Each section in the map is called a chunk. And if you mouse over, you can see what each area is. And these are procedurally generated for the rest of the game. Okay, so let's go down here and see what's... Okay, it's quite dark. Darkness is a key attribute in the game. So you can't see the character at the moment, but we can go back out. There we are. You'll notice the full message log at the top. It says Kai Kudden picked up blue consciousness shards times 200. So now I've got 200 blue consciousness shards. Now the story behind the game, there's been a cataclysm, the world has been destroyed and various time periods have been created into like a continent, and these consciousness shards are actually the people who didn't make it and didn't survive. Different colours. So if I press C on the keyboard, it brings up what we call the settlement stockpile, and that tells us we've got blue consciousness shards 200, and as you mouse over things in the game you get pop-up tips. Tells us a little bit of info there. I'm going to leave it, not bombard you with anything, and let's move forward. So the next thing we've got here, now this is a chest, and what it does, it gives us a commodity, or not a commodity, it's giving us a spell in this case. And we've got the fire touch spell. Now down the bottom here you can see I've got it as my number 1 spell, which means if I use the left mouse button I cast it, and it casts where the mouse pointer is. And if you watch the mana at the bottom, every time I cast the spell the mana drops. Again, if I mouse over the spell and press I, it tells me how much mana it uses and what the actual spell is. So it's a weak touch range spell, good for conserving mana, so it doesn't use too much mana, and useful for destroying background entities like monster spawners, gem veins, etc. Mana cost 38, it's not bad. Cooldown of 0.38, that's the time before it can be recast. It's a red melee spell. It's 22.1 magical power, which is the damage it would do when it hits. I think, is that right? Damage per second, 58 damage per... Ah, right, yes, because what happens, our attack increases the actual damage, so the actual spell does actually more damage due to our attack from the beginning. Of again the percentage which I click on. If I escape, the attack is 105%, so it increases it by 105%. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, what else have we got? Now I can't get to the gate up there. You can just about see it if I jump. Oops, little blue thing. Now I'll leave that for now. Let's move forward. So once we've reached the end of the chunk, a gravestone here. Now these gravestones are littered about in the intro, and it's useful to read them. Gives you a lot of tips and ideas. So, extraordinarily brave, extraordinarily impatient, didn't even take the time to check her health status of what spell gems she had equipped for easy access. All she had to do was look in the bottom left corner and hover over anything she wasn't sure about. Yeah, so the tips are there for you. Anyway, let's get out of this chunk. So once you move to the next one, it loads. Another gravestone. This one says crushed under a pile of crates while trying to harvest some granite. Survived by beloved wife and 3 turtles. If you'd remembered his fire touch gem, which is what we've got here. Another one here. Here lies a net lake. Forget to eat while harvesting building materials. She didn't look in her settlement stockpile by pushing C, so she didn't know she had more than enough cedar logs, granite and consciousness shards for the building her settlement needed. It's always good to gather materials where you can. Yeah. So again, if you look at the map, what we've actually got on there now, we've got like a green square. There's a ladder here, so let's go up and see what we find. Yep, we can just about get up there. Big rock. Now using the fire touch spell, we can harvest granite. I've now got 1 granite from the rock, and granite's used later in the game to build things. Okay, next thing we have to get past these. Now if I press P on the keyboard and pause the game, when it's paused nothing can get us, and we can mouse over things and find out what they are. So that's a useful tip. So in this case let's use our spells to break our way through here. Okay, another creature, another chest. Now this one's we've got wooden platforms. You can see we've got 30 of them in the inventory bar at the bottom. It's starting to get dark. You can also see on the map we've got something up there that we're probably worth getting, I think. Now with wooden platforms, if I try and put one in the air here, for example, by pressing 2 on the keyboard, it falls on the floor. So I can't jump and put platforms and go wherever I want. That was something in a very early build of the game, but not anymore. It's now getting dark. There's a day-night cycle in the game. But what I can do here, it'll attach to the cave wall, and I've made it a bit too high, so let's do one just below it. There we are. So I can make my way up here now, you see, and climb. Sort of. Try and get another one in there. There we go. So it gets us up here. Pick that up. Okay. So it's every so often in the game you get a little message to tell you what's happened. So in this case we picked up an enchant. We've never quit one before, so it tells us what to do. Pretty straightforward. You've got 2 inventories in the game. You've got your standard inventory, which is the one that we've got our spell gem and our platforms in. So I'm going to OK that. At the moment we've gone to invincible, so if anything like this pops up, you never know, there could be monsters about or a dangerous situation. It just pauses it for you, so it doesn't pause it, you become invincible just so you can deal with the situation. So let's click OK to that. X takes us into our inventory for the enchants, and the one we've got is a featherweight enchant, which means when equipped on the legs, falling damage immunity. So yeah, you can hurt yourself by falling in this game, quite badly actually early on. So what I'm going to do is click on it, and you'll see we've got 5 areas where we can actually equip these enchants. So if I hold on it and then click it, it goes on the legs, and what that does, if I now fall, hopefully I shouldn't take too much damage, which to be honest isn't a big problem in this part of the game, but could certainly be a problem in other parts. Now this cache here has given me some more, so let's just close the enchant menu. Platforms, so it's basically topped at what I had, back to the 30, because they come in very handy in this game and you can't get far without them. Okay, let's move forward. Right, I've got another gravestone. Now this is telling me about water. Now water in the world, because of the cataclysm, for whatever reason, has become acidic. Now if I walk in that water, it's going to hurt. So what I'm going to do is put a platform down on top of the water, which allows me to stand there. Platforms don't sink, but if I use a platform under the water, it will float to the surface. So put another one down. Think of platforms as spells, I guess, because you can actually carry thousands of them. Now, I've got a feeling, yeah, there is some kind of resource under there, so I'm going to go for it. If I jump onto this platform, drop down here, it's dark, you can see we're taking damage from the acid, hopefully it won't kill us, and we've picked up... What we picked up? Red consciousness shards times 200. So again, if we do a commodity, there we go, 200 red consciousness shards. Right, anyway, I'm going to make my way back out of this acid water, because it's not the best place to stay. I can jump out. Okay, we haven't taken too... oh god, too much damage. But what I'm going to do now is call it a finish there for now. Shut down that for a second. Purely because I want to keep these to a reasonable size for uploading. I'll be doing plenty more episodes. It'll take a while to get to where I want to be, but over the time, I think if you play along with me, I think it'll be quite good fun, and we'll be able to learn how to play the game. So, thank you very much for watching. This is Hovery Lair 32. It should be uploaded shortly, and then you'll be able to have a good look. Sorry, I should get the next episode uploaded shortly, and we'll be able to continue on from there. Okay, thank you very much.